which, hey, if I had a year with Cody, I'm not sure I would have married him, honestly. Ooh. So I might have seen him for a little bit more who he was, you know what I mean?
The night was supposed to be quiet. A simple dinner, familiar faces, and maybe a rare chance for Kody Brown to finally show the calm, collected version of himself that he always claims to be. But according to those who were there, it didn't take long for things to shift. The tension at the table snapped faster than anyone expected. And this wasn't just the usual cold silence between ex-wives. No, this time it was different. Robyn, who usually kept things together, was visibly upset, her voice rising in a way no one had seen before. She wasn't interested in keeping up appearances anymore, and it was clear she had reached her limit.
It's like serendipitously beautiful. It's like all of a sudden, there's nobody but us on the dance floor. And I'm talking to her like we've known each other our whole lives.
Multiple sources have hinted that the incident took place at a cozy restaurant not too far from Flagstaff, a place the Browns have frequented more than once. The staff knew them, and so did the other diners. What was meant to be a quiet evening, with a menu boasting rustic charm and family-style portions, quickly turned into something unexpected. Instead of a relaxing meal, everyone found themselves witnessing a very real sister-wife showdown, with Robyn allegedly losing her cool over something as simple as a glance. Yes, a glance. It came from a young waitress who, by some accounts, might have been trying to figure out the complex relationship dynamics at the table.
I'm used as a word, but maybe he felt used too. Like we just use each other. Didn't mean anything.
Was it like?
Maybe just apathetic. Probably apathetic. It was kind of like, I guess this kind of have to. Maybe there was just a need, just a physical need that was met.
It's not the first time there's been confusion over who's married to whom, especially now that only Robyn is legally tied to Cody. But this time, Robyn allegedly wasn't having it. One witness online claims she literally stood up and said something like, "I am his wife. That's me. Don't look at her like that." The her in question remains a mystery. Some speculate it was Mary, who sat at the other end of the table, not even exchanging a glance with the waitress. Others think Robyn's reaction came after the server acknowledged a different wife first. Regardless of the cause, the tension was undeniable. It wasn't a subtle moment, it was loud enough to make heads turn. One diner nearby described the atmosphere as freezing, with a sight of sheer awkwardness. Another said Cody just sat there, silent, until he finally spoke. According to two separate Reddit accounts, Cody leaned in, his voice raised just enough to be heard, and said something that left everyone speechless. "We deserve some respect," he snapped. "We come here all the time. Treat us like it." But instead of earning the respect he probably expected, it seemed to have the opposite effect. The line reportedly caused nearby diners to exchange side eyes and suppressed laughter. One man sitting at the next booth is said to have muttered under his breath, "Who does this guy think he is?" Meanwhile, the waitress, visibly shaken, apologized before retreating to the kitchen, possibly in tears. For longtime fans of the show, this moment felt almost inevitable.
Janelle suggested I buy her out. I'm like, how? I don't have that kind of money. I don't know the answer well enough to be able to move on it. But I got these two exes going, I want this. Let's do, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I'm like, I don't know. So they're nagging me, which is great because I just got two ex-wives who are total nags, now nagging still.
For a while now, Robyn has been balancing between being the peacemaker and the power player, but insiders are whispering that something has shifted in recent months. Her tone, her posture, even the way she interacts with strangers in public. It's as if she's finally stopped pretending to be the nice one. One production source allegedly told a blogger, now she's just owning it, all of it. And maybe, just maybe, that was the moment Cody snapped too. Not just at the staff, but at the thought that anyone would dare challenge their authority in public. The more people around them turned to watch, the more it seemed to fuel something deeper within him. One eyewitness said Cody's voice grew louder, not softer, as he demanded basic decency from everyone. But the irony wasn't lost on anyone. This is the same man who spent the last few seasons screaming about betrayal, sulking over loyalty, and turning his back on 3/4 of his family. What kind of respect is that, aren't you? And then things got even messier. If there was one line that seemed to hang in the air long after the plates were cleared, it was this: "I am Cody's wife." Not whispered, not mumbled in embarrassment, but said out loud with full conviction. Insiders say that's when even the people seated at Robyn's own table began to squirm. because it wasn't just a correction, it was a claim. And the way she said it, according to two diners who allegedly witnessed the scene, felt more like staking her territory than clearing up a misunderstanding. One woman described Robyn as suddenly tense, her jaw set, eyes locked on the waitress. It was as if she was warning her off. A witness shared a post on Facebook that's now circulating in Sister Wives fan groups, suggesting that the poor waitress had either looked at Cody for too long, too kindly, or just not in the way Robyn approved of. Another diner claimed that Robyn followed up with, "She's his wife too," or was. That second part, according to reports, is what made the entire table stiffen, especially Mary, who was seated not far down the bench, a fork halfway to her mouth. The diner said Mary didn't say a word, but her expression spoke volumes. For years, fans have speculated that Robyn never truly embraced the plural life she signed up for.
Back in 2014, Cody and I did do a legal divorce.
Some believe Robyn saw her role as a stepping stone, carefully positioning herself within a family that was already falling apart. Now, with Christine, Janelle, and even Mary no longer in the romantic picture, Robyn is the last one standing, legally married, living under the same roof, enjoying the benefits, and, according to this diner witness, making sure everyone knows it. One source said she looked at the waitress with a gaze that seemed to say, "How dare you not know who I am?" She wasn't shouting, but the intensity was unmistakable. Too intense for a casual dinner. It was one of those moments that might seem small on paper, but in person it felt heavy. Like all the years of resentment and scrutiny bubbling to the surface in one sharp statement. And the ripple effect didn't stop at their table. A couple sitting nearby overheard a staff member venting in the back. "I don't care who that man is. We're not here to bow down to drama queens." Ouch. And the kicker? Cody didn't step in to defuse it. Instead, he reportedly nodded in silent agreement, just enough to show he had her back. "She's had to deal with a lot," he allegedly muttered, looking at no one in particular. "You people don't get it." That certainly didn't help his case, especially considering this wasn't some private, high-end VIP dinner. It was a public meal in a small town where the Browns are already known and not always warmly received. Insiders whisper, this isn't the first time Robyn's made pointed declarations about her status in public, but this time it was louder, clearer, and more defiant than ever. It was as though she was done playing along with the illusion of shared marriage and equal footing. This time, she wanted the whole room to know she's the wife now, the only one that matters. And the question lingering over every forkful of food after that moment was, who was she really talking to? Something has clearly shifted in Robyn, and fans are starting to voice the quiet truth. That restaurant incident didn't come out of nowhere. It's just the latest crack in a pattern that's been growing ever since the other wives walked away. Sources close to the family say Robyn's public behavior has noticeably changed. Where she once stayed soft-spoken, playing the peacemaker, she now walks into public spaces like a woman who owns the narrative, and maybe even the man. Insiders whisper that since Mary quietly announced her separation from Cody, Robyn's posture has shifted, shoulders back, head held higher with a new air of finality. It's not the same Robyn we saw crying in season 17. One crew member reportedly told a former PA on the show, this version is confident, sharp, and always watching, like she's guarding something she believes is hers alone. And in a way, maybe it is. With Cody no longer sharing a household with Christine, Janelle, or Mary, the weight of his attention has landed squarely in Robyn's lap. But instead of softening into the role, she seems to be clinging to it tightly. Fans have noticed the shift too. One viral Reddit thread dissected Robyn's behavior at a community event where she allegedly corrected a volunteer who greeted her as Mrs. Brown, responding with, "the Mrs. Brown." Whether or not that story is true, it's become a symbol of how some viewers now see her, not just as Cody's favorite wife, but as the one who wanted to be the only wife. And as that restaurant moment showed, she's not afraid to say it out loud. It's the territorial energy that's throwing people off. Robyn used to pride herself on being gracious, on respecting the sister-wife structure, and on never wanting to cause pain. But the woman who stood up at that table and declared her marriage status didn't look like someone trying to protect anyone's feelings. She looked like someone drawing a line in the sand. And if the waitress hadn't figured out who Robyn was, well, Robyn was ready to make sure everyone knew. One fan remarked, she's got the ring, the house, the man, and now she wants the respect that comes with it, no matter what it takes. But what does it mean when that respect has to be demanded rather than earned? And what happens when people start questioning the act? While Robyn seems to fully embrace her role as the one true Mrs. Brown, the echoes of the other wives' exits still linger. The next move she makes could backfire in a big way. Fans have spent years analyzing the nuances, every look, every gesture, every tear, whether real or scripted. Was Robyn really Cody's favorite, or were fans simply seeing what they wanted to see? After the dinner incident, the debate didn't just spark again, it exploded. When Robyn allegedly stood up in the middle of that public restaurant to assert her status as Cody's wife, it wasn't just a clarification. It felt like a declaration of ownership. For fans already disillusioned by the breakup of the Brown family, that moment hit like a slap. She finally spoke the truth that many already suspected. One fan wrote under a viral Instagram post, "This was never about family. It was always about winning." That word, winning, has become the theme. It's how Christine framed her departure, walking away from a situation where she felt like a secondary character in someone else's love story. It's how Janelle spoke about the quiet emotional hierarchy that had built up over the years. And now, after the dinner confrontation went viral, fans are using that same word to describe Robyn's behavior. Triumphant, smug, and just a little too rehearsed. It didn't help that, according to one source, Robyn flashed the waitress a condescending smile before sitting back down, as if she had just made her point and didn't care who heard it. Though this detail is unverified, it has become a symbol of something deeper. It's not just about what Robyn said, but how she owned the moment. The body language, the tone, the audacity. For viewers who once tried to see the good in her, it felt like the final reveal of a role she'd been playing all along. And that's when the backlash became sharper. Some fans now argue that Robyn's tears over the decline of the plural marriage aren't genuine grief. They're just a way to manage her public image. She's not mourning the family. She's just upset we're seeing the real her now. What once seemed like vulnerability now appears to be a calculated move. Even some of Robyn's longtime defenders are starting to fall silent. It's hard to argue that she's misunderstood when she's allegedly shouting at waitresses in public and demanding recognition as if she were royalty. The dynamic has shifted quickly. In the early seasons, Robyn was the new wife trying to find her place. Now, she's the last one standing. While Cody might spin that as loyalty or destiny, fans are calling it something else. Entitlement. There's a reason why that statement, "I'm Cody's wife," hit so hard. It wasn't just a statement of fact, it was final. It felt like the culmination of years of subtle favoritism and passive-aggressive behavior, all bursting into the open. Maybe Robyn thought it would feel empowering, but for those watching, it felt more like confirmation that the family they once rooted for is gone, and the woman left behind doesn't seem too heartbroken about it. But while Robyn was busy staking her claim, she may have overlooked one crucial detail. TLC cameras were rolling, and what they captured next could turn everything on its head. Robyn thought the moment would simply blow over, just another awkward blip in the ongoing family drama. She might have underestimated one crucial detail. TLC was watching, and not just watching, but filming. According to whispers from production insiders, that now infamous dinner was part of a scheduled shoot for the upcoming season. The crew was already on location, cameras positioned nearby, and while the staff might have been caught off guard, the producers allegedly were not. One anonymous crew member reportedly told a Sister Wives fan account, "We've been waiting for something like this. We just didn't think it would be so public." That's the twist no one saw coming. For over a decade, Robyn has benefited from what many fans have called the soft edit. While Christine, Janelle, and even Mary were often shown in their raw, tear-streaked human moments, Robyn frequently appeared polished, measured, and conveniently tearful at the right moments. But this restaurant incident, if it was really captured on film, could be the moment the edit changes. Because even TLC can't ignore the demand for realness anymore. If Robyn's mask slipped in front of the cameras, producers might have no choice but to show it. Insiders claim the pressure on the network is growing. Executives and fans alike are demanding that Robyn's image no longer be protected. The ratings may still be strong, but the comments on TLC's social media have taken a sharp turn. Every trailer, every teaser is met with backlash about Robyn's screen time and the perceived favoritism. One highly engaged post had dozens of comments saying, "Robyn edit again, and we're done pretending she's innocent." And sources say producers are starting to take notice. According to someone close to the editing team, there's serious debate about whether to air the full confrontation or cut it down to something more neutral. They're worried about her image, the insider shared, but they also know what fans are asking for, the truth. And that truth, raw and unfiltered, might finally make it to air. Because even the most carefully curated character can't survive a meltdown caught on a microphone in public. The stakes are bigger than just one awkward dinner. If the network decides to air the footage, it will be a turning point, not just for Robyn's reputation, but for the entire franchise. Fans are already buzzing about a potential Robyn reckoning arc in season 19. If TLC is smart, they'll lean into it, because love her or hate her, Robyn's fall from grace is the most compelling drama they've had in years. Still, some insiders caution that Robyn and Cody may try to intervene. Robyn thought that moment would just fade into the background, another awkward blip in a long history of family drama. She might have seriously underestimated one crucial detail. TLC wasn't just watching, they were filming. And according to whispers from those behind the scenes, that infamous dinner was part of a scheduled shoot for the upcoming season. The crew was already there, cameras rolling nearby, and while the staff may have been caught off guard, producers weren't surprised at all. One anonymous crew member reportedly told a Sister Wives fan account, "We've been waiting for something like this. We just didn't think it would be so public." And that's the twist no one saw coming. For over a decade, Robyn's image has been carefully managed, often shown in a soft light, while the other wives were painted in their raw, tear-streaked humanity. But if the cameras really caught what happened at that table, it might be the moment the edit flips. Because even TLC, in all their careful curating, can't ignore the demand for realness anymore. Allegedly, Robyn and Cody have always been cautious about the narrative, asking producers to soften scenes or even cut them completely. But if they try to pull those strings now, it could backfire. The audience isn't just suspicious anymore. They're angry, and nothing fuels a fandom's fury like the feeling that they're being lied to. What the cameras captured that night might finally give them what they've been asking for all along. Proof, not just of Robyn's status, but of the shift in her power from misunderstood wife to the one calling the shots. If the footage airs unfiltered, it could mark a major turning point for Robyn, for Cody, and for the entire franchise. Fans are already buzzing about the possibility of a Robyn reckoning arc in season 19. If TLC is smart, they'll lean into it. Love her or hate her, Robyn's fall from grace might just be the most compelling drama they've had in years. But even as the whispers of damage control get louder, there's one thing no one expected: Cody's voice rising above it all. It was only a matter of time before he opened his mouth, and when he did, it wasn't to calm things down. It wasn't to smooth over Robyn's icy tone or apologize to the waitress. No. According to multiple accounts, Cody did exactly what he does best when he feels cornered. He exploded. Witnesses say that as the tension at the table started to unravel, Cody leaned forward, eyes flashing, and said loud enough for half the restaurant to hear, "I deserve respect." It wasn't a request. It was a command.
The room went silent. It didn't land the way he wanted to. A few diners reportedly stopped mid-bite. One couple even asked to be moved to a different table. He didn't yell, one person wrote in a now viral Reddit comment, but it was the kind of voice you use when you want to remind everyone in the room that you're in charge, even when no one asked to. According to sources, Robyn visibly flinched when Kody raised his voice. Not in fear, but in that secondhand, embarrassed kind of way. Even she couldn't spin what he just said. He didn't say, "We deserve respect." He said, "I." That distinction didn't go unnoticed, not by the staff, not by the online audience catching wind of the story, and certainly not by the former wives who know that tone all too well. It's the same tone Christine described in her breakup confessional, the same tone Janelle referenced when she said he talks at people, not to them. And now strangers in a restaurant were hearing that same energy up close. One employee allegedly told a friend after the shift, "He acts like we should be grateful he even came in, like we're lucky to be near him." Whether that's an exaggeration or not, the impression is clear. Kody wasn't asking for decency, he was demanding obedience. What makes this outburst even more uncomfortable is the context. This wasn't a tense family counseling session or a private disagreement behind closed doors. This was a public dinner in a small town where the Browns are already infamous. The staff were just doing their jobs and the diner simply wanted to enjoy their evening. But there was Kody turning a minor misunderstanding into a showdown for dominance. Fans online quickly connected the dots. It's like he's desperately trying to reclaim control of something that's already slipping away. One Reddit user posted, "He lost 3 wives. His kids barely speak to him, and now he's barking at waitresses." Others pointed out how telling it was that Robyn didn't jump in to support him, not the way she usually does. She sat back, quiet, her lips pressed in a thin line, almost like she even didn't know how to defend what he'd just done. Which raises the question, was this dinner Kody's breaking point? Was he lashing out not because of a disrespectful look, but because he's watching his whole world crumble and doesn't know how to stop it?
All the talk of respect didn't come across as dignity, it came across as insecurity. And maybe that's what rattled Robyn the most, because if even she can't keep him composed in public anymore, what else is slipping through her fingers? Christine wasn't at the dinner, but somehow she managed to be the talk of it anyway. Not through words, but through impeccable timing. The day after the incident, Christine posted a photo on Instagram. Just her, sitting alone in a sunny corner of her kitchen, holding a slice of pie and smiling like a woman who just won the lottery. The caption, "Grateful for peace and pie." It was perfect. Within minutes, the comment section exploded. "This is pure shade and I'm here for it," one user wrote. Others called it a mic drop moment, a silent sermon, and the classiest takedown yet. Whether Christine intended to address the dinner drama or not, the timing couldn't have been more spot on. And the internet decided it wasn't a coincidence. This isn't the first time Christine's posted what fans see as coded messages aimed at Robyn and Kody. After the explosive season 17 split scenes, she shared a quote about walking away from people who chip away at your peace. Later, in the aftermath of the tell-all, she posted a picture with her daughter, captioned, "Some people bring sunshine, others bring clouds. You get to choose." And now here she was again, still smiling, still unbothered, while the internet was swirling with stories of Kody demanding respect and Robyn allegedly snapping at waitstaff. It's the stark contrast that makes it sting. Robyn and Kody are reportedly spiraling under the public's pressure, facing growing resentment and mockery online. Meanwhile, Christine is glowing. Her skin looks radiant, she has a twinkle in her eye that fans haven't seen in years, she's engaged, cooking, dancing, posting videos of her grandkids, and every time she shares a post, it feels like a reminder to everyone that you can survive Kody Brown and even thrive. One commenter summed it up perfectly. Robyn's screaming in a restaurant and Christine's out here making cinnamon rolls. We see who's winning. The fan base isn't just rooting for Christine, they're practically holding a parade in her honor. Her quiet confidence has become a rallying cry, especially for women who found themselves in similar situations. She doesn't need to clap back. Her life is the clapback. And make no mistake, Robyn sees it. Sources say she still follows Christine's account.
Even if she doesn't engage, whether it's out of curiosity, competition, or something more complicated, she's watching. And that pie post, if it wasn't aimed directly at her, it might as well have been. In the Sister Wives universe, peace is political. Christine's brand of soft rebellion is hitting harder than any dinner table declaration. But while Christine basks in her post-Cody glow, the backlash toward Robyn is only just beginning. Fans aren't just angry, they're compiling receipts, and what they uncovered next left the internet fuming. Once the story broke, the internet wasted no time sharpening its knives. Within hours, the details of the dinner debacle were dissected, reposted, memed, and stamped with the digital equivalent of a collective eye roll. Reddit threads exploded with hundreds of comments. TikToks comparing Robyn's alleged outburst to her infamous Sob and Robyn persona went viral. The consensus was clear. Fans were done playing nice. She snapped like a teenager, one post read. Not a grown woman, not a mother, not a public figure, just pure entitlement with a side of drama. Others were even more cutting, calling her mean girl in a maxi dress and accusing her of treating servers like extras in her spotlight. The most brutal came in the form of a fan edit that stitched together all of Robyn's past claims about being shy and peace-seeking with a fake voiceover that said, "I'm just here to cause peace," and apparently scream at waitresses. It went viral within 24 hours. But it wasn't just the snark, it was the pattern. Fans began digging into old clips, quotes, and moments where Robyn's actions didn't match her words. Her tearful pleas for unity sat in contrast to scenes where she quietly encouraged Cody to spend more time with her kids. Her insistence that she never wanted legal status over the other wives played alongside the moment she eagerly signed the paperwork. And now here she was again. Sharp public correction, "I'm Cody's wife," was being treated like a Freudian slip the size of a billboard. On Reddit, a super thread titled "Robyn's Real Personality Caught on Camera" quickly gained traction, filled with screenshots, timestamps, and fan theories. One user wrote, "You can't hide who you are forever. We're seeing it now. No more soft edits, no more TLC cover-ups. This is who she is when she thinks no one's watching." Another added, "Christine walked so Robyn could unravel." The sentiment was clear. The honeymoon phase between Robyn and the audience was over, and now they wanted consequences.
The backlash didn't stop with Robyn. Cody, too, came under fire for his alleged tone and inflated ego. Imagine demanding respect from a waitress when you don't even give it to your own kids, one fan tweeted, racking up thousands of likes. Others dragged him for letting Robyn speak for him, only to swoop in and double down on her outrage like some medieval king. It painted a picture of a couple who weren't just disconnected from reality, but actively hostile toward anyone who didn't play along with their version of it. And while the couple reportedly stayed quiet publicly, behind the scenes, sources say they were rattled. Robyn allegedly felt betrayed that the moment had leaked. Cody, meanwhile, is rumored to have called a private meeting with TLC producers about narrative sensitivity going into the next season. But it may be too late. The audience has made up its mind. And just when things couldn't seem more damning, an insider from production dropped a revelation that left fans speechless. Just when fans thought they had seen it all, a new rumor sent the fandom into a frenzy. This time, it wasn't from a neighbor or a bystander, it came from within the machine itself. An insider allegedly connected to Sister Wives production dropped an explosive whisper to a long-running TLC gossip blog. This wasn't the first time Robyn had lost her temper in public. In fact, it wasn't even her second time. According to the source, moments like the infamous restaurant confrontation had happened before, more than once, and TLC had actively chosen not to air them in past seasons. The cameras, it seemed, had captured more than what was shown. "It's not new, it's just the first time it happened in front of the wrong people," the source reportedly said. That quote was enough to set every fan page, podcast, and Reddit thread ablaze with speculation. What else had Robyn said off camera, or more intriguingly on camera, but left on the cutting room floor? How long had producers been shielding her image? And what would the show have looked like if those moments had made it to air? It wasn't long before old interviews and behind-the-scenes footage started being re-examined for clues. Fans pointed to awkward silences, clipped confessionals, and choppy dinner scenes where the tension felt unresolved. One popular theory suggests that during a season 15 shoot, Robyn once snapped at a production assistant when a camera crew parked too close to her house. She doesn't like surprises, the alleged crew member commented in a now resurfaced post. If things aren't perfectly planned, she gets real cold real fast. Another moment fans now suspect was scrubbed involved a birthday celebration scene where Robyn barely spoke. At the time, viewers got it was a quiet night, but now some believe the silence might have been stitched together after a bigger scene had to be cut. TLC has always tiptoed around Robyn's moods, one fan wrote. They gave her the golden wife treatment, but the cracks are showing. And the truth? The cracks are showing because the more fans learn, the more they question everything. If Robyn's image was so carefully managed by producers, what else about the show has been shaped to fit a specific narrative? How much of Kody's favoritism was subtle editing, and how much was just the network keeping things tidy to avoid backlash? Most importantly, how long did Robyn get to benefit from a soft focus lens while the other wives were edited raw and messy? The answer, it seems, might lie in season 19. If the crew really did capture the full restaurant outburst and producers are finally ready to show it, we could be looking at the biggest image shift in the franchise's history. Fans aren't just angry, they're ready to reclaim the narrative. They've spent years watching Robyn cry, whisper, and play the innocent bystander. But now they want to see the real footage, the unfiltered moments, the ones where she didn't know the cameras were still rolling. And if TLC delivers on that promise, Robyn might not be able to spin her way out of it this time. In the wake of all this damage, one question now lingers heavy in the air. Is the sister wives' family even salvageable? The Browns were never perfect, but they were compelling. A tangled mix of personalities, faith, ambition, heartbreak, and hope. For years, fans held on, rooting for someone, anyone, to come out of the chaos stronger. But after that dinner table debacle, the question isn't just about Robyn's behavior or Kody's ego, or even TLC's editing choices. It's bigger than that now. It's about whether there's anything left of the family they built the show on. Because when a man has to demand respect in a public place, it means he's not receiving it at home. And when a wife feels the need to declare her position like a battle flag in the middle of a restaurant, it means the power she's clinging to might be slipping through her fingers. That night didn't just expose a petty outburst, it exposed a system collapsing under its own contradictions. The plural marriage is over, the dream is dead, but what's been left in its wake is something far colder. A couple circling the wagons, building a mode of entitlement around their dysfunction, and daring the world to challenge it. Christine's pie wasn't just dessert, it was peace, hard-earned and savored. Janelle's independence, Mary's quiet exits and reentries, they all represent what it looks like to walk away from chaos without losing yourself. And now Robyn and Kody sit alone at the head of a table no one else wants to join. They have the house, they have the name, but do they still have the audience's empathy, or even each other's? Behind the scenes, insiders say things are tense. Filming has become more complicated. Conversations that used to be open and warm are now controlled, tiptoed around, or cut short altogether. It's like walking into a fortress. One source allegedly said, "You can't get a straight answer from anyone anymore." Maybe that's the clearest sign yet. What we're watching isn't just the unraveling of a family, it's the slow implosion of a brand built on sharing, now hoarding secrets instead. What comes next? Will TLC air the footage? Will Robyn address the backlash? Will Kody ever realize that respect can't be forced, it has to be earned? Or are we looking at the final act of a very public unraveling where the last two standing finally realize they've won a battle but lost the war? We want to hear from you. Do you think Robyn's behavior at the restaurant was a one-time slip, or is this a sign of who she's really been all along? Can Kody rebuild trust with the fans, or have they both burned that bridge for good? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this saga is far from over. The next video on your screen is waiting, and trust me, you won't want to miss it.